Okay, guys, is my screen visible?
Yes, correct. Yes, correct.
Yeah, and the document has been updated, guys. Once this class is completed, I'll just upload it and you can have a look. So, before going to Jira, we'll see the defect life cycle or bug life cycle in the testing part. This is most important to know. Okay, so is it visible?
Yes, correct.
So today's most of the class would be in this only. So I'm just maximizing the size. Oh, hope this is clear. Hmm. So Jira, like we are mostly going to work on Jira, but if it is not Jira also, if it is Bugzilla or other like defect tracking tools will be available in market and which will be used by the like most of the projects. It is not at all a issue if you are not aware of the other defect tracking tools or the user management tools. So once if you like if you are deployed into that, you will obviously get to know. It might not take you more than 3 to 4 days to get adjusted to that tracking tool. Okay, so one basic tool is necessary to get into the um, like into the company. So we are just concentrating on the Jira one. Okay, there are so many. For example, VSTS, Bugzilla, and so on. So Jira is one among them. Okay then. So Jira bug life cycle is also known as defect life cycle. Bug and defect are similar terms. So bug is considered as like as soon as you test and you feel and you create it, that is called as bug. But once it is verified and accepted by the developer, it is converted as like we call it as defect. uh, your guess is called as bug and their confirmation is called as defect. Okay, so you can start calling a bug or defect, both are correct. Okay, the bug life cycle starts like there are various phases, as we said. No, in the SDLC we saw there were so many phases. Like what were can someone tell me what were the phases of the development life cycle on top level?
Requirement phase, design, code development, testing, development phase, and maintenance phase.
Super, who was that? So
Amar,
good.
Amar,
Good, Amar, keep it up. And others, guys?
requirement analysis, test planning, test environment, test development, test execution, test closure.
Yeah, it was STLC, and I asked about STLC. That was correct, Madhuri. What you said for the testing was correct. I got to know that you are well prepared now. And
I thought for testing was.
it's okay. Both are important, no? And testing is more important than SDLC. But yeah, knowing is good, no? And can someone else try giving SDLC and STLC? Okay, so we'll see the quick recap what we have done. So this is SDLC. First is requirement, then design and development, and then testing, and then deployment and maintenance. Okay, there are six phases in both. So most of them are common, like requirement, designing, and in software testing lifecycle also. So there are like six phases. It again starts with requirement analysis, and then we will create the test cases and set up the environment and execute the test cases. And then if while defect like executing the test cases, if we get any defects, we will log it. And yeah, it will go through the again like defect life cycle, which we will be discussing now. And test life cycle closure, like closing is done by seeing all the documents and defects are closed or not, or it is prioritized for the next one. Everything is considered and we'll close it. Okay, so from defect logging perspective, we'll see the life cycle of defect again. So yeah, the number of states that the bug goes through the varies, like through varies from project to project. This is like even Jira is customizable, guys. It is not necessary that every company should choose the same status and same life cycle. But as a like standard one, we will just go through this, which is now given in this like flow diagram in the next segment. But yeah, it is customizable and it is changeable. Every company should not have the same, like it is not necessary to have the same. And yeah, we can define the bug as an error, flaw, or we can say that when an actual output does not match with the expected output, it is known as bug or defect. Both the terms, that is bug or defect, are commonly used but not popular as, like it is most popular as in bug. Okay, a bug can be generated at any stage of SDLC. It could exist in requirement gathering, designing phase, whereas SRS document is design development phase, testing phase, or user acceptance testing done by the end user at the time of using the application. A bug has its life cycle. Like this, what does it means it might be at any point. It might be at the development phase only. They might have seen like a developer has created and he will do a unit testing, right? At that point of time he might understand that okay, this is not working as expected. I had like some more implementation is needed, but that could take time. So it would be better to raise a bug he might feel. So at that point of time he will raise a bug and he will prioritize for the some other time. And it might also be captured in the testing phase when we as testers are doing it in the SIT, like system integration testing. So integration testing is nothing but, like for example, we have in this Word document we have all these things, new tabs. So if I am working on this requirement, home tab requirement, this is a requirement or a user story, and whatever testing I'll do on only this tab is known as functional testing. But in fact, when it is system integration testing, we have to test it as a system. So it will consider file, insert, design, everything which is interlinkable. And even when all the options in the save, all those things are also like uh, part of this system, so that is also considered for testing. And this system integration testing is something which is like end to end testing, from the logging to the logout, in the sense until and unless we close the document everything is compared and tested thoroughly. That is known as system integration testing. So at that point of time there might be a chances of even bugs, because it might pass the functionality testing, but what if when we are clicking on home and then clicking on insert, if it is not moving, then that is also a bug. So this type of bugs will come in integration testing. Okay. So even user acceptance testing, sometimes it is like most rare case, if we miss in the system integration, that might be caught by the user acceptance testing. That means like end users or the clients will be testing once we have completed, that is UAT is done in the full copy sandbox, and that is done by the client side. Once we give the demo, which is we have the meeting, no, sprint review or sprint demo, at that point of time we will show our work to the clients. So clients got to know how to use it, so then they'll start working on the testing. So they will again check for their own requirement how it is, and all those things they will check. At that point of time also you might get the bugs. So that is what, at any point of time you can raise the bug, there is no issue at all. And as soon as we report a bug in the any testing, like bugzilla, Jira or anything, there might have so many statuses or the phases. So the first one is new. So whenever you log in to the Jira and you wanted to create a defect, then automatically once it is created, for example you have given all the details like whatever we have seen, no, this one, like module name and steps to replicate the bug, screenshots, severity, priority, reported by and assigned to, all these things when you give. So once you click on save, it is considered as like automatically that status becomes as new. Okay, this is the first phase. And this is the diagram. You will create the bug and it is new, and it is assigned to a developer who developed this bug, like developed this product. So if I'm checking the requirement of home tab, so home tab was developed by John, so I have to assign it to John. So before that you can have a one to one talk, they will have connect with you and you can explain this is what I found. If it is valid, then I'll go ahead and create the bug, is it okay? Then they'll say okay, yeah, this is valid, you can go ahead. So you can create and assign it to developer. If not, if you are not that much communicating to your developer, you can create it and assign it directly to the developer. So they will do as per the proceedings. They will see um, like if it is a valid one or not. Like first they will analyze during the time of testing the bug. So yeah, as soon as you post it, this is new, and when you assign it, it is assigned. And in the assigned status only, like the developer, he will start seeing, like analyzing the bug what it is. So if he feels if the defect is repeated twice or like to the same concept, so you have the home button, you have been tested and you found a defect, but another person who is doing a SIT, that is system integration testing, at that point of time also he had come up saying okay, in the home tab something is not working. So he also raised the same defect. At that point of time developer can see okay, this concept is already we have seen and a bug is raised by another tester. So this time it is not necessary. So they will do is they will make the status as duplicate and this is ended. So whatever once developer sees and if it is not valid case, all these three status will stop the defect life cycle. Okay. Duplicate means if it is repeated the same concept, then it is duplicate. Rejected if developer feels that defect is not a genuine defect. So if he feels that this is like not genuine, we'll see, no, it is actually working as expected. This was not part of the requirement means we can reject it because that was not part of the, like there is no need of working as which is thought by the tester. Okay, at that time they will reject. And deferred is something if there is a bug but that is not of a higher priority, so it can be solved in the next releases or sometime. So at that point of time what we will do is we can, okay, this bug is valid but I cannot fix it right now, we can prioritize for the next coming sprints. So we can move it to the deferred. Okay, this is part of developer when he starts working on the um, a bug. Then once when a developer makes a necessary code changes and verifies the change, he can make the status as fixed. So he has worked on the bug and he has made some code changes or something and it is fixed. So yeah, once this is fixed, again we as a tester has to retest it. So once the bug is fixed by the software developers, then it is assigned back to the testing team to check whether the bug has fixed or not. So we'll fix it, once developer fixed, we will see whether this has been fixed or not. This question is also important, guys. Most of the time, they will ask like, what is difference between retest and regression testing? Retesting is something like once a bug is assigned to a developer they will fix it and after that we will again test it. That term is called as retesting. But regression testing is the code change whatever developer made for fixing the bug or new enhancement, so because of that the other functionality should not be changed, so it should not affect the other functionality of the same module. So for that reason we will do a regression testing on the other parts of the functionality. Okay, understood, guys? Okay, I have tested now as part of retesting. So even after testing it twice, so I felt like the bug still persists. That means it is still there. Whatever the defect I have raised, I can see it in my environment. So it is not fixed means you can reopen it. Else you can close it. Like you feel like okay it is correct and it is valid, then tester it is fixed. If you feel it is fixed then you can close it like verified, and your manager or someone will ask you to close. Yeah, it is correct, you can close once after the UAT. Okay, this is all about the defect life cycle. You can see it in the diagram also how it is. See, it is new, assigned to developer. He will check. So if it is like not valid scenario, then he will reject. If that is postponed to the next sprints, it is deferred. If that is like the same concept has been repeated, it is duplicate. If not, he will work on the bug and he will fix it. And once it is fixed, we as a tester has to retest it. So after retesting, if you feel this is like still the bug is persisting or still bug is there, then it will automatically go to reopened state, and from reopened it will undergo the same life cycle. This is missing, guys. Here one arrow has to come, so this is missing. I'll try to add some other picture. Okay, this is a decision making box. So once retested, It might reopen if bug is not fixed. If it is fixed, verified, and close it. Okay. Hope the bug life cycle is clear to you people. Is it so?
Escape. Escape.
Okay. So we will see this. So we know how STLC, what is story, what is epic, what is task, everything. But those things are created in the application, user tracking application. So how we will do it in the application, we will see. And since I do not have any license, I do not have a direct like free um, Jira access. So I have collected some of the internet photos and added over here. You can have a look. Planning the project work in Jira starts with creating issues in Jira. Issue is an all encompassing term that's used for any work your team needs to complete, including to dos, stories, bugs, incidents, epics, and improvements. Everything whatever you want to create, like it might be a story, bug, incident, epic, whatever it is, you have to create it in the initial phase, and then it will be shown that is assigned to you. Okay, based on the requirements. So how to create an issue in Jira? Issue, like, there are a lot different ways to create issues in Jira, but the simplest way is to click on the plus icon from the left navigation menu. See here, there is a plus sign. Once you open the Jira, it will look like this. So you will see your project name and this board. This is Kanban board. So in the board, you will able to see like all the stories will be there, and to do in the backlog the stories will be there. If you start working on that, you have to move it in the in progress, and once it is completed, you will just make it as done. That's all. Only three phases if it is a Kanban board. In the other boards, you will see all those other statuses. Okay. So if you want to create it, you can click on this plus, or even here also. Okay, plus create issue is there, no, from the backlog. You can you can click on the backlog, and you will see all the backlogs here. We had discussed no backlog. This is a product backlog and not sprint backlog. Okay, if you click on active sprints or ZC board, you will see the sprint backlogs. So here you will see the product backlog, and you can click on the create issue and start creating the new issue. That might be a epic or anything, epic or story or anything. So most of them, the details would be same. Like first thing is, you will select the project, choose the issue type. What is the issue type in the sense? It might be a epic, story, and bug, and task. So these are the issue types we will be most frequently using. And most importantly, Jira is customizable. So it is not necessary you have seen all these things here. And if you go to any of the project, and you will see like, okay, whatever Kalpana explained, it is not similar to this. So why is it so? You might have that question. So at that point of time, you have to think is Jira is customizable. All these statuses and the hierarchy can be customizable by the Jira admin. Okay. There is a role called Jira admin. That is for an overall company. They will hire one person and who will manage all the Jira things. Okay. One company in the sense one project. If it is one client, so if you're working for health domain, one project, that is something called as ABC. So ABC client will have one Jira admin, and who will take care of all the customizations. Okay, and you have to add a summary for that, like title. You can say if epic is going to happen, a new functionality for layout in the MS Word is a summary you will give. And optional details are descriptions and which sprint it is, what is the priority, assignee, whom is it assigned, and story points, or this will also be there. Okay, due date is not necessary. Like in our current project, I have not seen it. So these are most common. You can see. So how to do it? So once you click on plus icon, you will see this. You can have this issue type drop down. So if you click on this, you will see task, story, bug, and epic. You can create any one among them. Okay. So now they are taking an example of epic, and you will see all the related fields for that. Okay. So main things are summary,
So now
description.
in that code, which we have to select?
For bug, you have to select bug bug. And story and tasks are created by like product owners or BA. Those people will handle. Only thing you will handle is bug. Okay. You have to click on bug and give some required details and complete it. Okay, this is on a higher level so that you will be able to, like, if tomorrow some any chances they will ask you to create any task for doing some extra work, means you have to understand how to do it, so you can also work on the task. Okay, and you have to give all the details, required details, and click on create, so it will automatically create. If you want to create one more like something new like story or some other things also needs to add it, you can click on create another. Okay, and from here you can add the documents or link it, all those things you can do it here. Okay, so how to add the issue types to a Jira project? So by default you will get so many issue types we saw no here. So in this diagram, if we see, there are only four issue types. If you want something extra like incidents or improvements, spike, all those things you can do it. Yeah, you can add a new one. That is mostly a Jira admin's work, but still you can have a look, and if needed you can understand it. By default Jira offers six, which is like task, story, epic. Task is for general to do items, like whatever small things you are going to do in a day, so you will create as task. And story is for the scrum team that list requirements in user stories. Requirements whatever we get, that are stories. And epic is for the very large task, and that need to be broken down into smaller task or story. So it is like a functionality. To achieve that functionality, we have to create so many stories and tasks as part of that. And bug is for the defects. And new feature is something for the new product feature or like new enhancement which is needed. They will add it as a this one. And improvement is for the enhancement to the existing feature. Okay. So these are by default six types. And if you want extra you can go and do this. Okay, how to make a hierarchy of issues. Like Epic is at the higher level, but as a system, if you want to add some new issue types, for example, if I am going to give a spike is at the most higher level. Uh, so if you ask me the hierarchical level, so if I tell spike in my company, like it is not necessary for everyone to be the same. This is just for example, and no company is following this. Okay. Epic, and then comes story and task and bug. This is my hierarchy. So this hierarchy you can define it if you want. So you might also select like this. So up to you. So you can create or customize and make necessary changes for Jira like this. We have to go to active backlogs and see, and we can prioritize it, like give the hierarchy. And other thing is like we can reorder it. We can prioritize the issues whatever we have made in the backlogs. So, for example, this is our backlog. We have clicked, and we can see there are so many things in the list. So, if we have prioritization, this should go in the next sprint. This will be at the top. So, this issue you can drag and drop at the second, so that this is second at the prioritized. Like that, you can reorder it. Okay, it is just drag and drop. If you want the backlog to be in some of the prints, you can do that also. You can just drag and add it to that current sprint. Okay, this is like creating an issue in a epic. So in epic you wanted to add some like subtask and all, or create stories for the epics. You can create the epic first, and for that you can create the issues next. So these things you will able to see it and learn slowly. Most commonly, you will just work on the bug and task, that's all. And subtask. Subtask is also there. So, if one task is there, which is saying create a Word document for the Jira working. So, for that, if you want to create a subtask, if one more person is working on the same one, he will create a subtask that even I am also helping on the same, and I have contributed some part of that. So at that point of time you can create the subtask also. Subtask is also similar one. You can just click on, so already if there are, see here, the already one issue is there. If you click on that, you will see one more plus sign or subtask sign. Wait, I'll show you in the Google if it is possible. I have not added it. Yeah. If this is a issue, once you click on that issue, whichever I was showing, so here this is a issue. You can click on any of the issue. If you click on that, you will see this. अरे okay, this is the one, guys. I don't know whether you are able to see it or not. Is it visible?
Yes, Kalpana.
This has become much smaller. Okay. So yeah, here if we click on this, this is a subtask. It will get created. So get created in the sense it will open a similar page which is like looks like issue only. Once we click on that, you will see like this. Like this, you will see again same one. Same. It will ask us how to do it. The epic name issue, everything will be the same. Okay, that is all about the normal things. But now we'll go into the bug, how to create a bug and how to track the bug. Okay, so in Jira, to create a defect would be a create an issue of the type bug. So you asked no Madhuri of a bug what we have to select. So we have to select among all the issue types bug. Okay, if you select bug, you have to give some like we have already added our template, no? So as per the template, if we give it to the Jira admin, he will add all these details as a fields in the Jira so that you can add all the things into that. So as of now, they have like defect ID, it is automatically generated, and this is title, which is in terms description or any name for us, and description is steps to reproduce. So whatever the steps we have written, we can add it here. And environment information, like if we have not given it here, we can add it here also, like if it is SIT, UAT, or all the environments, everything you can add. And screenshots are added as attachments. Okay, and severity is also given. Assign it to someone, like assignee you will have. So the statuses will be as part of this defect lifecycle we saw. Okay, here we will give summary, and description place you will give all the steps to reproduce, and environments you can give like what is that UAT, SIT, or if it is for one particular user, all those things you can mention here. And attachment, so whatever the screenshot you have taken, no, you can directly add as drop files to attach or browse. So you can open it and drag and drop. Okay. And assignee is like if you want to specify the assignee, you can do it, or automatically if it is a subtask and creating a issue, then it is attached to them itself. Okay. This is how you will create it. The two fields you are not seeing here are defect ID and status. I said no, defect ID is generated by default once the defect is raised, and status becomes new if it is newer one. So we saw it in the defect life cycle. So in this Jira, the most important thing is we can have all the statuses which are replica to the other like popular bug trackers are there, no, similar to that we can accomplish. So Jira admin can do that. It is not that like problematic one or big thing, they can do it out. And comments and collaboration with the dev team, so you have created it, but for updating the updates, like I'm working on it or some doubts are there, in that way what we will do is most probably people will use it here in the comments, we will add a comment. the defect is not being fixed in the new build. Someone has added. On top of that, even I can add my comment that, yeah, I know I'm fixing in the same build. So, like that, you can chat it for that particular issue. So, issue might be a epic story, bug, or anything it might be. You have the thing of commenting. And what is history is, you can see history like first whom it was, like who created that story, who got assigned, and who is working on. Everything will be there. If description is changed or story points are added, everything will be added in the history. Okay. And even we can link, like you have just created a Jira issue type of bug, but you wanted that to connect with the other bug. So at that point of time, you can have the relationships like this. You can click on link was there, no, some I'll show you that also. Into mark type it, yeah, this one. So here you, if you click, you have the link option. So you can link the other bugs, issues, or anything, and you can connect with them like this. Okay. Links will look like this: is caused by, is duplicated by, relates to. Here one issue will be there, and below that it will show like this. Okay. And we can also import the defects to the Jira, and in the same way we can export it also. You can click on export. Like you have created one Jira, you want to take that out or submit as a word, you can click on export as a word. Then you will get all the details. You can create the reports also by this. You can analyze like how many bugs has been reported in the current sprint, all those things. It is not necessary, guys, it is just for the information. And if you want to see all the defects assigned to you across all the multiple things, you can do a jql query like this. See, project in bm and ab, they are just selecting two projects, and issue type is equal to bug, and assignee is equal to current user, and priority in only blocker and critical they have selected. If you want anything, you can just leave it, and status in to do or open. So this is how you will be able to see. This is all about Jira, guys. That's all. Hope you got some like most important things, so that you will not be surprised once you go into the project and see all these things. Okay. Now you are aware of everything. You have to just go and explore some more things. When you get the access for each and everything, you just go and have a look what it is there, and you can go and adjust for the same. Okay. Any doubts? Am I audible, guys? Okay, any questions so far? Hmm?
Kalpana.
Okay, and others?